Hi, Capstone people, students. I wanted to do a little video to get you ready for your final presentations and make sure that everybody is on the same page as far as when you are presenting. I do not know, and what you are presenting. I do not know all the details of the day. What I do have control over is that I am allowed to allow you all to do both your orals and your co-op all on one day, as opposed to you all being in New York City and taking a Friday off on 2 days in a row, which I think would be Friday the 13th and then the 17th, or, respectively, whatever that first Friday is. You all will be presenting on May 17th. And you will do both and I'm using the official language of the school, but you'll be doing your annual report presentation, which is your co-op presentation, or your orals, and then you'll also be doing your annual report presentation. So your journal, your annual report, all on May 17th. I will start at 9 o'clock. That said, I have not heard from Susan Bauer or from Tricia Kern about whether we are combined with any other classes that you'll be presenting in front of, or if we have people from the industry who will be sitting in. But let's start with the easy stuff. So, May 17th, you should arrive at 9 o'clock. As soon as I find out the details of what room we're going to be in, I will give everybody, 20 minutes to sit with their team, get organized, if they need that time, and then we'll kick it off. So you want to leave time for each group to take, maybe, and we have 4 groups, to take, at least 30 minutes, and some of you will take longer than that, which would be totally fine. And then we go into journals where there are 12 of you, and I would say each journal probably takes 20 to 30 minutes as well, depending, and some people go deeper than others, which is certainly welcome. So again, plan your day accordingly. I'm getting lots of notes about, my job has already started, or I'm flying to visit family. I have absolutely nothing against that, other than one is you need this course to graduate. Number 2 is it's really a privilege that you were able to take it 100% online. And this is the one thing that the school is requiring you to come in and do. And third, certainly I think it's really disrespectful to your classmates to not stay for their presentations. So for people who haven't gotten a job yet or have scheduled for the whole day off, kudos. For those of you who haven't, certainly keep that in mind. I'm giving you from 9 until 3, but again, I'm not in control of everything that day. So you really want to make sure that you give yourself enough padding. Rushing to the airport or rushing back to your job, really not appropriate. So again, I've written many of you notes and let you know this, but that is what I see the schedule of the day being. And again, I expect you to be respectful to your classmates. Other things that I expect of you are certainly that you're dressed appropriately. You are giving the equivalent of your college dissertation, whether it's just to me and your classmates, or if we have visitors from LIM College, or if we have visitors from outside. You want to be dressed appropriately. I'm not asking you to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning, which means you hopefully can take your time to look good, feel good, get enough rest. On the annual report that you're putting together, which is your orals, what you want to do there is certainly look at some annual reports. And I would say look at companies that are fairly simple and straightforward and look at their annual report. You also might want to look at a computer company's annual report. Another thing you might want to look at is even a non-for-profit's annual report, which I think are a little easier to digest. And you want to speak in the terms of whatever your computer company's names are in that business language telling us what happened as you went through year 1 and year 2. And you certainly want to explain your ups and downs, which I know each team has had some. But really what is most important about the ups and downs is that you've had is how you solve them. And really, if you were presenting the annual report to the board of directors of your company, that's what they would really be most interested in. So again, it's great if you have a lot of money at the end, but that's certainly not the only thing that I'm going to grade you on. So again, you certainly want to explain your mistakes or your challenges, and certainly highlight what you did really well. And a lot of you, again, did many, 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 many things really well and have solved your problems really well. So kudos to that. I'm excited to see all the presentations. The next thing is the journals, and again, we can talk about this more in the next coming weeks. You should by now, fingers crossed, everybody has been doing this, one, be working toward your learning objectives throughout your journal. And you should be journaling the 4 days that you're going to work. And again, I think that was very, very clear from the start. So hopefully everybody has a lot of journal entries. Again, it's bad if you have to go back and fill in. So again, and your journal entries can ebb and flow in, their length. So I realize you'll have days where you might have been out sick or nothing earth-shattering was happening. You want to support your learning objectives and your journal entries with actual, real, physical evidence. And these are things that you can collect from your workplace that can also really support your portfolio as you go out and are looking for jobs, or as you take a job and go to the next job. You should always be collecting things that you've created at your workplace and putting them into your portfolio, because that's what employers want to see. A lot of people are putting it online now for people to see, but certainly as far as your journal goes, you want to talk about your learning objective, and then if you can actually show some visual proof of it, that is fantastic. The biggest thing about the journal is that in the senior semester handbook, Appendix J really lays out exactly, and I'm sorry, the camera's not going to do a good job, Appendix J tells you exactly, and I believe I also attached this in the beginning of the semester, tells you exactly what must be included. And it kills me slowly when I go and correct journals and people leave out things like the name and location of the company, a description of the company including the company business, the target customer or market for the product, company image, and the department or company working environment. You want to also make sure, and again, you get points for all this, your title, the department and specific duties and responsibilities, and your 3 learning objectives. You do have a lot of creativity in how you lay out the rest of the journal. Whether it's you go in chronological order, which I hope you do for your actual journal entries, and as you either fulfill or do not fulfill a learning objective, you mention it in an entry and show all of it. Some people also do their journal up front, and then in the back they do their 3 learning objectives and explain why they succeeded or didn't. Finally, the biggest thing about learning objectives is not that you necessarily fulfilled all of them. What's hugely important to me is maybe you put a learning objective out there, that the company, that you get the internship, or that you get hired after the internship, and what you learn during the internship is it's not a company or a job that you're really interested in, which to me is also considered success, because you can cross it off your list and you can move on. So again, be very honest with your learning objectives. If you haven't fulfilled them, explain why. That's really what is important about the journal, and that it be reflective and that it be creative. I don't have it online, but I wanted to hold up, and again, I'm sorry this video is not that great, and I'm not even going to cover up her name, but here is kind of a journal that I've kept from the past that's a hero journal. So as you can see, it's bound, it's got a cover. This young woman happened to work at a jewelry company, and you can see on the opening page, that she does name, company, she lays out all the information I just talked about. She does that also on the second page of her journal. And then she, I believe, included her PowerPoint presentation, then her journals for each day. She includes, so here's some of her PowerPoint presentation, or this might have been a presentation that she did for her job. And then she supported, here she includes, this is an example of the master login database that she created. So there's an actual example of it. And then what she did, I believe, at the end is included her journal entries, which are not probably what you're interested in. And then she went through each learning objective. Some other really great things that she did in her actual presentation, again, she was a perfume company. She handed out one of the fragrances that they worked on, just a little stick with it sprayed on it. So she really went all out with her journal, and you know, again, hopefully everybody is going all out with their journal. So again, lots of tips on your journal. Here's one other really big piece of advice. Make a copy for yourself. You will also submit it online, and I will require you to do both. Because I have been in a situation where I collected journals only physically, a student asked for their journal back, and for a few weeks I could not find her journal, and she was very, 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 very upset. So again, keep a copy for yourself. If you want a copy for yourself, when they print it and bind it, have them make 2 copies. And again, you have to also upload it onto the internet. So we're triple covering ourselves. I know I'm being a pain in your butt, but I will not have anyone come back to me and say, I need my journal back and I don't have it anymore. If you do want it back after with my comments, I certainly am more than happy to do that, but I do not want to risk that you don't actually physically have a copy or don't electronically have a copy. So make sure that you have a copy for yourself, a copy you upload electronically, and a copy that you turn into me. So again, and all of those details are in Appendix J of the Senior Semester Handbook. Finally, and I don't think I have anybody in this circumstance in this class, but I do think that the senior semester is fairly detailed, maybe slightly complex compared to other courses. Make sure that you look at the syllabus and see the breakdown of the grading. So for example, Senior Co-op or Senior Co-op 401, 45% of your grade comes from your performance evaluation, which is from your actual employer. Your co-op prep grade, which again, lots of you took co-op prep. I don't think I taught it the semester you all had it. That's 20% of your grade moving forward. Your co-op journal and your journal presentation, which are the grades that I'll actually give you. Your senior orals, which is Marketing 411, is the presentation of your marketing plan, and it's a group grade, as you well know. Then you have your senior Capstone Marketing 412, which is your written marketing plan, which is 50% of your grade. The individual assignments, your peer assessment individual grade, which again, all of you will be doing a peer assessment of everyone in your group. And what I expect you to do is do those when we meet, and I do not even like to see who's handing them back, so I have you put them in a pile and I look at them after we're done everything. Active participation, which is also an individual grade, and that comes up also as a total score of 100. So again, I don't think I have anybody in any kind of precarious situation, but if you're interested in the grading, certainly make sure you go back and look at the syllabus. I'm trying to think of other things that I would like to tell you about May 17th coming up, and I certainly will begin to post some more helpful materials if I can. Again, you have a lot of creativity with your journal, but just make sure you hit those benchmarks that are mentioned in the journal, and I believe the senior semester handbook even lays out how I grade the journal, and I'm given a rubrics of how to grade it. Exact same thing for your presentations and for your actual hardcover or hard copy of your annual report. I am given the rubrics to grade them. So again, I'm going to post this. I'm going to open up your final unit, and hopefully all your questions have been answered here. Shoot me an email if they haven't been answered. And again, certainly check out Senior Semester Handbook and for your journal information, and check out some examples of an annual report as far as your presentations and your actual project go. All right, guys, have a great week, and I'll see you online.